Bone-in spare rib. One hot and sour soup. That's for my bride. Yep. Give her a large.
No, small.
Yeah, okay.
Get me a large for this one.
Yeah. What is that?
Dookie soup.
One large dookie soup. Oh, my kids were playing a joke on me. One bone-in spare rib. One hot and sour soup. That's for my bride.
Yep.
Dookie soup. Oh no. They made me say it. Why am I saying Dookie? Meow Furion is Dawn's back. What is this?
Emperor Nino.
Oh, there you are.
Why is Dawn a plate of spaghetti and not a picture of a puppy?
Because he's Italian. Also, we talked about him. Yeah, we're gonna stop making fun of him for that.
Oh, okay.
For what?
Oh no, we just he didn't like it, so I think we should stop.
Oh, all right.
Fingal Dan's my favorite.
Emperor Nino.
Oh, there you are.
Why is Dawn a plate of spaghetti and not a picture of a puppy?
Because he's Italian.
Oh, that's nice.
A lot. This is before Maya, so don't get mad at me. There were a lot of hot girls. A lot. Everywhere. I was in a club. It was crazy. I didn't talk to any of them because
I feel like I've heard Miskiv tell the story like 8 times now.
I hung out with the San, so they didn't see that I was there. They were pretty much using me as a fucking, like this is essentially me. Oh my god, hi Hassan, how are you? Oh my god, I love you so much. You're so beautiful. You're so great. Wow. A lot.
I've literally heard him tell this story, okay? This is so funny. Check it out. Wait, what is this? Okay, buddy, Hassan? That's crazy. Okay, all right, I'll look at the clip.
Going to the PD. My friend Buddha is going to jail.
A cab.
What?
I think they said a cab.
A cab? I agree.
Cop Leon, dude.
I agree. Gotta teach him at a young age.
Nice.
That's right.
Garrick feeds him lines. Oh, nice. Check out this clip from Papela D. Denzel. Hold on. This is immense Donnie energy.
Hey, yo, Gazzo!
Oh, where the fuck have you been?
What's going on, Gazzy?
Listen, my son's he's getting on a fucking plane now.
Right, coming back to the US of A? Ah, moron. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, yo, Gazzo!
Oh, where the fuck have you been?
What's going on, Gazzy?
Listen, my son's he's getting on a fucking plane now.
Right, coming back to the US of A? Ah, moron.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's awesome. Don goes X Games mode. What is this clip, dude? Why the fuck can I jump over? I'm trying to put it down, officer. I don't know how to. Okay.
All right, let me see some hands.
I'm putting it down. I'm putting it down.
You too,
go,
sir.
Go! Run! trying to put it. Permaban? Why would that be a permaban? That is a completely acceptable tackle, dude. Are you out of your mind?
Okay. Let me see some hands.
Hold on. How do I drop this?
Don't make any quick moves now. Hey, two of you, LSPD, pull both your fucking hands up. I need 77s up here off of Milton. I got 2 at gunpoint. Stop moving, you're gonna get shot.
Wait, how do you drop this?
Nice.
Can I drop it?
I was trying to rust it.
All right, let me see some hands. Hands above your head.
Wait, why are you doing that?
You too, sirs. They're tackling me.
Okay. No. No.
Stop.
No. Oh, thank God.
What the fuck?
Oh, he was behind me.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
No.
Point on one.
Fuck, dude.
195.
No. Fuck, the door saved me. He tased me.
Now.
Okay.
Let me see some hands.
I couldn't hear him. I thought he like... When a gun is pointed at you, you can't attack them? Wait, why not? Wait, really? He was whispering. Wait, what? No, you can do whatever the fuck you want with cops. It's literally the cops that no value life in the rules. Oh my God, why are there so many fucking biblical grain morons in the chat? No, dumbasses. You can do whatever the fuck you want to cops. Like, and also it's a taser. No value life is for other players, not cops. I mean, you can't do whatever the fuck you want to cops. You can't literally roll up to a bunch of cops and start spraying them. Oh, Jesus Christ. Cops would have no reason to shoot you anyway. You didn't have a weapon? Yeah, exactly. It was a gun, the cop said, but either way you can still do that. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Here's the thing. No value life is also for cops though, but this wasn't no value life. Here's the thing, okay? With cops, if it worked like crim versus crim, then literally they would just always pull out their guns and that would end every altercation. There would never be chases. And that's literally what the fun is for the entire, like, that's one of the most fun cops and criminals have, is like when you're fucking chasing one another. Isn't this the same as when you and Tony robbed X? None of it is no value life? No, dude. No. How many times? Dude, there are so many baby brain dipshits. It's like very difficult to describe such a simple fucking concept to everyone. Okay, no value life only pertains to criminal versus criminal. No value life does not pertain to criminal versus cop. Because if a cop were to fucking pull out their gun and it would be the same as like a criminal pulling out a gun on a criminal, then that would stop everything and there would be no police chases because cops would always just get the jump on you by pulling the gun out. No value life only works so that there is a role play mechanic between criminal versus criminal, okay? Otherwise, it would literally turn into Grand Theft Auto Online or SSB, where everyone's just like, oh, nope, I got the jump on you. I pulled the gun out and I killed you. I don't think that a lot of people are stupid enough to not understand this, but I also think that I think I can't tell if like people are legitimately baiting because they're just like stupid or legitimately baiting because they just want to understand. He was trying to contact you after you got off Buddha's stream? What? I mean, he DM'd me.
Top 5 of winning. Now.
Oh shit. Okay.
We're literally lying to everybody.
What?
Was just trying to understand. Okay, guy, there's a difference between I'm just trying to understand and lol, this is pretty much the same scenario as you and Tony robbing X and him getting away. It's a fine move. You are not understanding it. You're implying that you understand it and literally using this to make an argument. You are wrong, and you are not making a good argument. Don't try to fucking get out of it by saying, oh, I was just trying to understand it. Sorry. Trying to understand is being like, hey, I don't really understand this. Wouldn't this be similar to the other situation? That is when you try to understand. Not when you go, lol, you fucking idiot. Like, this is exactly the same situation. It's not. Anyway, it's like it's a long gone situation. It's been dealt with over and over again. Like, I don't know why you're still fucking trying to relitigate it or bring it back up here. It's the top of the hour ad. I gotta go in and sign in and shit for this show. I just feel kind of feel like shit. I think it's because like maybe it's because I've been live like 13 hours every fucking day for the past couple of weeks now.
Top 5 of winning. Now.
Oh shit. Okay.
We're literally lying to everybody.
What? You're lying.
Hello?
Wait,
oh no. Sorry. That you didn't mean you.
Top 5 of winning.
That's hilarious. Oh, that's so funny. No more no pickle. No, I'm gonna go back and do no pixel. It's just that I have to fucking get ready for if not, he would have made it out in the van because of your tackle. Don't take it so hard. Yeah, I feel bad. Okay, I need to eat right now. Okay. Jason. 6. No, I don't care if you go back and forth. It's just up to you. Yeah, it was really good. I like what you did with the... You put like goat cheese on this. New Johnny Harris, how Belgian imperialism gave us the COVID vaccine. Ugh, I don't want that. I don't want what it takes to survive the Marines' 54-hour test. Ancient warfare experts says. Okay, I like this one. Let's watch this.
So boiling oil didn't happen. Sorry. I mean, you can just throw boiling water. Hi, my name is Roko Nijendijk. I'm a lecturer in ancient history at the University of Oxford. I'm an expert in ancient warfare, and I'm here to talk to you today about pre-modern warfare in Wonder movies.
Oh my god. Norway!
So this is the supposed Greek concept of othismos, which it literally means pushing. And about 100 years ago, a scholar in Oxford who clearly had rugby on his mind decided that this should be conceived as a literal mass shoving. We have no evidence of that. Nobody ever says that that's the case. But for some reason, this really caught on. And so for the last 100 years, it's been controversial. But generally speaking, I mean, people didn't want to fight like that. Spears are right in your face. So there's a lot of reasons to want to avoid this. So this moment where they switch from fighting in formation to going after individuals who are still resisting, that seemed very realistic for most of these fights. Make sure you can kill as many of them as possible, because that's when they're vulnerable, that's when they're not fighting back, so that's when you can just spear them in the back. And that's exactly what happens in this scene. It's only very much later in Spartan history where they say we don't chase the fleeing enemy, because if you chase the enemy, then you're caught out of formation, you become vulnerable. But at this time, at the time of the Persian Wars, the Spartans had no rules against this, and indeed, it's a true story. You can't really dispute that, but in sense of the tactics and the weapons, it feels like a fantasy movie. Maybe 3 or 4 out of 10. If the old man's in range, why isn't everybody shooting? They're making all these people on the walls hold their arrow for a really long time, and these are really heavy bows, so it's exhausting and pointless. Plate armor is intended to keep arrows out. Bows aren't guns. They are meant as suppressive weapon. You use it to keep their heads down. And so, of course, you would still use it even against people wearing plate armor, because even the feel of arrows sort of pinging off your armor or falling around you is going to make you much more cautious and hesitant. Obviously, attacking walls with ladders is just a really, really risky proposition and usually doesn't work. If you believe they don't have either the courage or the strength to resist you, then you might try this. You just put a lot of ladders against the walls, swarm up, take the place. If you expect it to be defended, it puts you in such a position of vulnerability, approaching the walls one at a time, and it's...
The Urukai are being... the Urukai are metagaming. They're abusing a... they're abusing a video game mechanic. They're power gaming right now. I mean, this is definitely -10.
It's just not going to go well. But obviously, it is a very common tactic. I mean, you can go to the British Museum right now and see depictions of people assaulting walls with ladders. Yeah, so I mean, the problem when you see this kind of siege scenes in movies is that they always seem to make it really easy for the attacker. If they want to go right up to the wall, they can just do that. If they want to bring siege engines, if they want to bring catapults or rams or towers up to the walls, they can just do that. It's like they're trying to make it possible for this place to fall. Whereas in reality, I mean, one of the most common forms of fortification is very simply, if you have the ground like this, you dig a ditch and you pile up the sand behind it. Then you build your wall on top of that. And now what do you have? The enemy wants to approach you from the front, they end up in the ditch. Suddenly the wall they're facing is much higher. If they want to bring siege towers or battering rams, they fall into the ditch. They would have to fill up the ditch first before they can get to you. All that time they're right under your walls. In movies, they never do this because that would slow things down. I want to keep the assault engaging. That's why a lot of the tactics that they show you are actually too simple and missing a lot of the points that would actually be used. Well, firstly, that hill is much too steep, so everybody would die. But these horses would just slide to their deaths, unfortunately. But if we if we take that out of the equation, I always thought it was validated by the fact that he uses the light of the sun to blind the orcs, which means they lower their pikes at the last moment. So the idea is that he creates those openings that the horses need to see in order to push their charge. So you see them sort of wavering and breaking just before the charge hits, which is exactly the point. Like, that makes it conceivable that this could have worked. I mean, it is still a fantasy and they're doing many things wrong. On the other hand, it certainly hits a number of points where you're like, well, this is realistic, using sort of layered of initiative in order to overcome the defenses. Yeah, I mean, 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. This is just wrong. I mean, I mean, what are they doing here? Like, this is, where are they getting the idea that the Scots in this period were wearing like leather and war paint? Like, these are just...
Yeah, this is the, that's one of the most common tropes, right? Like, everyone being like leather clad and shit like that.
Like ordinary medieval infantry, they would be wearing chainmail and helmets like this, you know. They just deliberately made them into savages. Why would you make them into savages? They're sophisticated people. They had disciplined pike formations. It's so bizarre. So fire arrows are not entirely unhistorical. They did exist, but usually you would use them during a siege assault, for instance.
Watching these low-key ruin the movie for me, I don't give a fuck. The way I see movies and the inaccurate portrayals is the same way you play around mechanics in roleplay. Like, it's supposed to make the fucking movie fun. As he explained already with the formation, or not the formation rather, but with how ditches work outside of castles and shit. You know what I mean?
instance. Like you could use them to set things on fire, which is what they're for. So buildings and, you know, stocks and supplies, wood, straw, thatch roofs, because it would create chaos and distractions. This idea of involving fire in battle scenes is just something that Hollywood loves. I mean, you just want to have fire because it's a nice spectacle. Also, how would they have done this without the English noticing that there was a field of oil or something on the ground? Like they wouldn't have like been like, oh, that's probably there for no reason. I'm just going to stand in front of it. They just do this. All these movies, they just sort of charge into each other like horseless lancers. They just sort of mash into each other, like no regard for anything. And then like when people ask me, like, so in a battle like this, like how would you know which one is on which side? Like how would you know who to stab, basically? Like, yeah, you wouldn't, obviously. If it went down like this, you would have no idea, which is why it didn't. As soon as your formation gets so messed up and so disorderly that the enemy are in your ranks, you know you've lost. Now, infantry would often charge into battle in the sense that it would run the last distance to meet the enemy, because everybody's afraid. Nobody wants to be there, really, because they know they're about to be in mortal danger. So you run and you scream to get yourself through that point and to psych yourself up and to know that there's a lot of you who are all in it together. But then you probably, by the best modern theories, you'd sort of slow down when you get to the enemy. And then you would start stabbing at each other in more or less even lines, because otherwise everything would you would just lose control. This is a joke. I mean, like... From the equipment to the tactics, like none of this has any bearing on what actually happened, except that William Wallace was defeated. That's basically it. 2 out of 10 or 1 out of 10. That's one of the most common forms of ancient artillery, is these bolt shooters. They would shoot these big rods, these sort of metal bolts. They're very effective. They shoot further and more accurately than arrows. There's an account of somebody getting, blown off his feet and pinned to a tree by one of these things. They are very useful in a siege because, again, they clear the walls. You don't want to stand there. I mean, what is the point here? This forest is clearly very wet. It's not going to burn. It just looks cinematic.
Okay, this dude is... This is one of the worst types of this dude. Usually this dude is like... The expert they have usually is much less insane. Look at this. Guys, Connor is going to beat my ass, dude. Look at this. He fucking posted this 50 seconds ago, and he already has 597 likes. It's over, boys. It's over. Today, we are supposed to... This is me. That's fucking Connor. Okay? He's gonna activate the Minecraft stands, dude. Time to play Hivemind the way it's meant to be played. I don't really care. I want Will to win, but I don't even know if I can let him win or get him to win. Minus 10K viewers while playing RP? No, that's normal. That's always gonna be the way, but... Anyway, let's keep watching.
And they form a testudo, of course they do. I mean, it's not ridiculous. I mean, the Romans did have a formation like that, which is called testudo. And they did use it in a few occasions when you knew you had to pass through a bunch of arrow fire and you didn't want to lose any casualties. But it's a desperate measure. So then you're stuck waiting, essentially, for the enemy to stop shooting at you. So in a battle situation, you wouldn't want to waste your time trying to get into that formation and then waste your time trying to get out of it again when the enemy's right there. Instead, you would just try to get through that zone and get into the thick of it.
Do not be troubled, for you are in Elysium, and you're already dead!
It's an endless debate whether those speeches actually happened, because it's hard to speak to an entire army full of people, especially without a microphone. But it is something that is very, very common in descriptions of battles. So the best we can do is assume that they did happen and that they were a very important part of it.
Oh, I was describing why this expert is worse than other experts I've seen before. Because, like, because he's just, like, unironically being like, the entire forest is wet. It would not work.
So the cavalry here, bizarrely, charges through a forest. This is really bad idea. Your horses are going to break their legs. Like, you'd try to find open ground. I mean, it uses a lot of actual Roman tactics and equipment, so I guess 6 out of 10, but it's a mishmash. The whole point is just that they're just doing Saving Private Ryan. This is just made up because they wanted to have a scene like Saving Private Ryan. Resisted landings are not common in ancient warfare because they're kind of a modern warfare thing. Most of the time, they would just find a suitable beach somewhere a reasonable distance away from their target and land there, and then they would advance on their target. These are just stakes for show. Who are they going to stop? Like, they're not trying to land tanks here or anything. People can just walk through them. Like, if you want to fortify anything, in antiquity, in the Middle Ages, in the modern day, ditch and a palisade. It's that simple. It's easy. All you need is a bit of wood and some shovels. And they haven't done it. They just put some stakes up here and there for no reason. Just kind of...
Sorry, bro. I don't think you're a modern warfare expert, so I'm afraid I'm gonna give your comparison to Saving Private Ryan a 5 out of 10. Guy's got a ditch and a palisade outside his house.
Sprinkle some stakes. This kind of shield formation is total rubbish. I mean, come on. There's nothing like that in Greek history. They're not going to be like this overlapping sort of turtle thing. In the period where this poem is set, there was no mounted cavalry. And even in later periods, you rarely have people actually fighting on horseback. It's hard to work out how to use cavalry tactically. It's difficult to use it if you don't have very many of them. And horses are just very precious. It costs an enormous amount of money to maintain a horse. So you don't want to waste your horse on something like this guy and his hammer.
Bro, the concept is so basic. Like, my favorite chatter is the guy who says, how the fuck does he know any of this shit? There was another guy who was saying in the chat earlier, like, what was he there? Like, how does he know? It's like, dude, like, what do you think anthropologists do, for example? Not just historians. But, like, what do you think anthropologists do? Archaeologists, like,
charging altogether. They have no sense of order. And in fact, if you look closely in one of these scenes, just to the left of Paris, after the next shot of Paris running away, I think, the extra falls down on his face. I mean, I love that bit because it just shows exactly why you wouldn't want to be doing this, right? Because if everybody's running all together.
Oh my God, what a nerd. He's like, I love when the extra falls.
You're just going to trip over yourself. You're like, everybody gets in each other's way. Like, they're doing a beach landing, which is obviously inspired by an earlier movie. It has nothing to do with history, except that they have swords and arrows. Yeah, what do you want? 2 out of 10? So again, where is your ditch? Where's your ditch? You gotta have a ditch. Otherwise, they're gonna run those siege towers right up to your wall. You know this. And obviously, Jerusalem at the time did have a ditch, and it had.
Bro, if this dude asked me what I think about Abigail Shrier being tapped by Republicans as a witness for the Equality Act hearing one more time, you guys have no idea who I'm talking about. But there's this motherfucker in the chat, like a gray name Andy, who literally, I hope he says something again. He has like 1997 in his name. Okay? Like, this entire time while I'm playing roleplay, hey, so what do you think about Abigail Shrier? I feel like she has some good points about the Equality Act, right? I feel like she has some really good points. Yeah, here it is. Yep, this guy. Oh my God. 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 He definitely said it before too. What is your take on Abigail Schreier? What is your take on Abigail Schreier? What is your take on Abigail Schreier? I feel like it's no difference than a girl taking steroids. I'm not transphobic whatsoever, so I could be wrong. Just curious on your take. Just curious. Just curious. Just curious. Just curious. Shut the fuck up!
At a pre-wall in another ditch, so that you can't just put your siege engines right up to the wall.
For those of you who are wondering why I did that and how out of control that was, that motherfucker is asking that question over and over again exclusively to derail the stream. He was successful in derailing the stream. The only reason why he's asking that question is because he's bored and he wants to have his own fun. Okay? When you are a bored motherfucker and you want to have your own fun, you know certain things are going to fucking take the stream off its rails. That's one of those things. He is asking that question over and over again on purpose so that he can bait the stream into a different direction, sit there and fucking crank his little hog, his little pecker, with his two fucking fingers like this, with the notion that he got me to fucking respond to him and was able to derail a 15,000 person fucking broadcast, which he got. Okay? He got away with it. It worked.
Of course, they start throwing fireballs. Stop it with.
You're here for entertainment. Is it wrong? Yes, it's wrong.
The fireballs. Admittedly, it is realistic here that they are very concerned about not like trying to keep their siege weapons from catching fire. The defenders would try to set them on fire, and so it's very important to protect them from that, usually by covering them with wet hides. So boiling oil is a big trope, right? You see it in a lot of movies. It's not a thing. Didn't happen. Sorry. So there's no evidence of it ever happening. There's no description of people being smothered in boiling oil, certainly not oil that's already been set on fire. I mean, you can just throw boiling water and it does the same thing, which is hurt people. Or you can just throw rocks. They cost you nothing, they take no preparation, and you throw them at people, they get hurt. It's great. So boiling oil is just needlessly elaborate, and you're burning fuel. You don't want to be burning things for no good reason. The account that we have of this siege, it says there was constant fighting outside the walls, and there were also assaults on the walls. This one's better than the other one, actually. Better than Helm's Deep.
Just throw a rock.
Again, they should have been digging ditches. Literally, all they do is just stand around carrying like spears from one point to another. You should be digging ditches, many ditches. Once your first ditch is ready, build another one. The female characters, other than the ones who've been trained to fight, are basically just sort of hiding in the dungeon and not doing anything. In actual sieges, especially when it was this desperate, I mean, they would just be expected to contribute. You know, women, children, old men, everybody does something. Because there's always things that people can do even when they don't fight. You know, go and carry arrows and stones up to the people on the walls. Go and put out fires. You know, help with water and food. Help with clothing and the wounded. There's no way you would just stick them away in a corner somewhere. These catapults are obviously in the wrong place. They should be on top of the wall. Like, why would you put them outside of the walls? They're going to be overrun. You can't move them out of the way quickly enough, so put them on top of the walls. That's where you put your artillery. So you can put your cavalry in front and it totally works if you don't expect your enemy to stand their ground. So putting your cavalry in front is a time-tested, you know, very common strategy, totally works, unless you're fighting ice zombies who are not going to break and they're not scared of you. You're just wasting your cavalry. So it's the right tactic for the wrong moment. There are probably several other battles in Game of Thrones where this could have worked really well. Should you find yourself fighting an army of ice zombies, so put your artillery on the wall, dig many ditches, just lots and lots of ditches. You can put, of course, your infantry in front if you want to confront them there, because that means
Sorry, that's the music for the stream, the game. I'm just joining it on the other side. I turned it off so you won't hear it, and we can keep watching this. We should talk about the tactics before the show so there's no miscommunication. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what tactics we can use right now. Honestly. Every country in Africa, what you need to know? Dude, no. So, when I'm first, it doesn't matter. We're just going to crank it, right? When I'm first, we're going to crank it. I need some of you guys to be spies in other people's chats. I need some of you guys to be spies in other people's chats, you know, to relay information in here. Trusted members of the community, you know who you are. Don't use this to fuck me over. Okay? I'm thinking like the first 3 are the real takes that I have, and then the last... No, every other one is fake. But the problem is, even if I were to do every other one right now, people are not going to know, because right now I have 16,000 people in here. Later down the line, so many more people are going to trickle in, right? And Ludwig has 40,000 viewers still, so his chat's going to be fucking, you know, insane. So his takes are probably going to matter. He's most likely going to game the system in Will and Connor's. Like he's gonna game the system against me, which is normal. I expect him to do so because that's the most content. Secret code phrase for this is the word. Okay, secret code phrase for this is the word is banana, and fake code word is pineapple. Or yeah, I can touch my nose. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. They're probably already in here. I'm fucked. I'll touch my nose for the real. The problem is, I feel like some people just listen. They don't like actually watch. Can you explain the game? I wasn't here. Well, the fake signal can just be me just saying whatever. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck? They're just gonna know it's fake. I'm telling you, people are just not gonna know. They're just not gonna know. You have to play the game normally because you're actually outnumbered? Yeah, I think so too. I think I'm going to be outnumbered. I think so. Snipe the shit out of Ludwig. Will won before playing it normal with the smallest audience. You'll be fine. Who did he play against, though? First of all, Lud's hosting, and he's gonna fucking his chat is gonna be the most aggressive. Like, he's hosting. Are we banning all of Lud's mods? No, Lud's not playing against me. He's not gonna give the game away. But his audience will sway the outcome heavily. Why does this motherfucker keep saying 250k Andy? I don't know what this is. What is this for? Like, what do you want? You want this? Here you go. There you go. You can have it. Okay. You know what? Fuck this. I mean, hey, if you don't want to participate in Hivemind, this is a really good way to do it. Okay? Really good way to do it. I'm sorry. Get more people by changing your title to Amaranth Batch Stream. We need more Turks. They're all fucking sleeping, bro. If you gamify it, you might be calling for their fans to fight fire with fire. Yeah, I know. I might just go. Yeah, I might just try to do it honestly. We'll see. Will played against Connor Eats Pants, but this is a 1K Andy. Yeah, so there was never a massive difference. Like, there was never a gigantic difference. Like, the reason why I played the way I did was because I know whatever I choose was going to go that way. But trying to play it normally was not going to work in that regard. But now things are getting heated. You know what I mean? Connor Eats Pants asking for backup. Like, we got a lot going on, boys. It's going to be hard is what I'm saying. It's not going to be easy. For those of you who don't know, Hivemind is like Family Feud, but with my audience. So basically what it is they'll ask questions like, what's the best video game character to go on a date with? And then I have to figure out what the fucking top character would be. Family Feud, okay? The answers come from the audience, though. So everyone in my audience and everyone in everyone else's audiences are writing answers in. So when they say Shrek, for example, or a lot of people say Shrek, and I pick Shrek, I get the most points. Pretty easy to recognize, right? Anyway, let's keep going.
You will have several stages to fall back on after that. You won't sort
the
of
extension is on my stream. You can see it.
But put your cavalry away from the main line so that once the enemy is engaged, once your ice zombies are stuck against your line, you can then swoop in from the side where they're not expecting you and overrun them. I mean, it's not going to really necessarily win your fight against an army of ice zombies, but at least it means that you are fighting them in a way that they don't expect. At least you will have done something with your cavalry that made sense. But otherwise, I mean, obviously it's all a bit silly. So, you know, what should we say, 5 out of 10?
Yeah, you got to type your answers in the answer box on the stream window. Yes, not in the chat. You have to, on the stream window, you will see, I've already joined the competition. So right here is where it is. You're going to fucking click on that and write your answers in there, okay?
I mean, this movie had an Oxford professor advising on the movie. You can see all the little details that they got, you know, in terms of their dress, in terms of their tactics and maneuvers. Like, all of this is as good as we can get it almost. It's really, you know, really precise, except for the fact that for the Persian army they
wait, Connor's chat is already infiltrating? Wait, what the fuck? What do we got? That many crossover fans? What is this shit?
Still went with
huh?
this
What the
kind
fuck
of
is
slightly
going on,
racist
Connor? Stay in your fucking
depiction
lane,
of,
all right?
You know, flimsy warriors wearing eyeliner and things like that. It doesn't really reflect reality at this point. They would have been much more organized and much more heavily equipped. But this is just the way that people like to depict Persia in general and the East. It's just, yeah, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. In fact, throughout this period, the Greeks were the ones who fought like that. Whereas the Persians were known to be much more organized and to advance silently into battle, which was something that the Greeks were really impressed by. Camels, always useful because they scare horses. It's kind of a theme throughout Persian history that we use camels to scare off enemy cavalry. With this movie, like, all the equipment is just right. Like, these guys, you know, these are the companions. You know later on there are going to be some Thracians. Like, you can pinpoint very exactly who they are. The whole pike phalanx is exactly depicted accurately with all of the weaponry and the spacing between the men and the kind of blocks in which they maneuver and things like that. Now, this is obviously a bit silly. People wouldn't deliberately impale themselves on a giant stick. It's much more likely that they would just
got
sort of
13 minutes, boys.
Stop in front of that and start falling back. And you don't actually expect a big pike formation to actually kill a lot of people, because people don't, you know, they try not to die. They're going to run away from it. I mean, this is exactly as it says in the source. This is our best reconstruction of how this battle happened. This is, you know, in terms of ancient warfare.
We're being infiltrated. Want to go into one-day follower mode? Not yet. Not yet. But maybe. Maybe. Connor's in 2-hour follow mode.
This is the most accurate depiction that you'll find anywhere. And I would give this 9 out of 10. Stop, no. Where are your missiles? No, this is where these battles, they would be about trying to disrupt the formation, not sort of to slam into it and hope it goes away. I mean, you'd be shooting arrows at it and throwing javelins at it to try and see if you can create some gaps in it. And then eventually, once you saw a weak spot, you might sort of rush forward. And so you could use your swords and your spears to try and create a hole in the shield walls. It doesn't achieve anything. Yeah, no, Vikings would definitely use shield walls. I mean, that aspect of it is realistic, except the fact that it's a 3-layered shield wall seems a bit excessive. That's a Roman formation. But you do have, you know, obviously Viking shield walls.
Didn't Connor end up being super racist and shit? No, dude. No, that's a different Connor. What the fuck? Whatever, they got the same name. Fuck them. Fuck them, dude. No.
Are the way they would fight pitched battles when they did. So they would try to avoid pitched battles and mostly would fight in surprise attacks, ambushes, and sieges.
People keep fucking asking,
so this is
can you
a
explain how Hivemind works? It's
according
just
to
the
scene,
same as Family Feud, okay?
So then they could risk it. So this one I'd probably give like
Hivemind.
6 or 7 out of 10.
Twitch, chat,
And
feud,
so
Family
this movie
Feud,
is entirely
okay?
based on the romance. So not on the historical record. It's essentially just a fantasy story.
I changed it. I changed the fucking title.
This formation.
How do you play Family Feud? Well, you're gonna learn, okay? You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn how to play Family Feud. I don't know how the... We are European who hasn't seen Family Feud. I didn't know either. It's pretty fucking obvious, dude. You just write your answers to a question in the chat, okay? You'll see it's on the screen somewhere right now. Like there's a clickable thing in the screen. Okay, it's a Control Plus bar on my screen somewhere. Okay, you click on it. Here, put your mouse over it. Maybe where my mouse is. It's probably like around here somewhere, right? So you fucking click on it, and then you write in that bar. It's not in the chat. No, on my screen, on your screen, the mouse is gonna be where my mouse is currently. Put your mouse on my mouse. It's different on mobile. Oh, okay. I don't know what the fuck mobile is. And then you click on it and you type in the fucking box your answer. And if a lot of people, if like 16,000 people in here all write the same answer, then that's going to be the #1 answer. I don't know how it works on mobile. I don't even know if it works on mobile. You never need to click on it. It'll just appear on the whole screen somewhere in the bottom left area. Oh, okay.
In the historical record, there is something called the 8 gates formation, which isn't described. It means a really elaborate infantry formation that has these sort of changing, shifting shield walls, which is intended to trap enemy cavalry. And so that's what you're seeing happening here, is that they are using shifting shield walls to trap enemy cavalry. There are a couple of descriptions of it happening in a sort of competitive maneuvering, where two armies are sort of trying to show that they have more control and more discipline by competitively moving troops around. But actually there is no evidence that it was ever used in a battle to defeat anyone. It's much too complex. The amount of control that you would need over every individual detachment, the amount of coordination of each single man, everybody has to know exactly where he has to stand for this to work. And none of them can, even a stray arrow killing one of them would disrupt this entire formation because it would create a gap in it. So it's just not feasible. That seems sort of wildly optimistic as to the abilities of any infantry force.
Chad, the way it works is there's a question that given by Ludwig and Hassan. The other contestants try to guess. That given by Ludwig and Charlie ask a question. They're the two hosts. Whichever way chats are answering, I try to decide what's going to be the most popular answer, second most popular answer, third most popular answer, all the way to 6 top answers. Or if they're not on the 6 leaderboard, 1 through 6, then I'm fucked. I get 0 points. The host will go over the rules regardless. One day follower mode won't work for Connor viewers.
Subs. See, here's where Hassan's mistaken. All of my viewers are already politically confused kids who followed Hassan during the election so they could post funny memes during the debate.
No!
Right? So they're already good. They can already go in there.
No!
Everybody knows this. I'm gonna keep Hassan sub.
No! Fuck. Shit, I probably shouldn't be cursing. There's Minecraft kids in the audience. I meant fudge. There's little Minecraft babies in here right now. They are among us. I can't even do sub only. I bet some...
In real life, if you could get that close to cavalry, why not just stab them? It's another one of those things that is based on a story, so how can you judge it? Like it's cool, it's evocative, but it's not historical. It's got the equipment, right? So maybe 4.
Viking expert.
If I preferred to use the knife, then I would hold the knife in my preferred hand and try and cut as much as I could with the axe and follow up with the knife, either in a forward grip or reverse grip. Dual wielding. Vikings, according to the sagas, use 2 weapons. Sometimes they hit the axe behind the shield, so as you grip the shield here, you can hold the axe and the shield handle here, so it wouldn't be seen by the opponent, and if you drop your shield or if it gets destroyed, you quickly have another weapon in your hand.
Wait, that's pretty smart.
This is very realistic choreography. He's using basic strikes, no sneaky techniques, and no small direct cuts. He's swinging with that intention. One of them could work. It only needs to connect with the guy's arm or wrist or fingers before you've created serious damage. The way they engage is similar to Gleamer techniques.
I don't want to go sub only because I want non-subs as always to participate. You know what I'm saying? It might end up fucking me over in the long run, but that's just how I operate. I don't like doing sub only.
You try and trap the hand that's being used against you.
We'll see.
If it has a weapon, you try and trap the weapon or the arm, and you use that to control the balance of the opponent. Lots of different styles do similar things. And my father-in-law,
I gave my prime to Ludwig already. All right, you're banned.
Began to teach me Gleamer techniques, which are based on the battlefield wrestling from the Viking Age. These are passed down quite secretly because Norway has been ruled by other nations and occupied by Germany in the Second World War. So their means of fighting hand-to-hand combat were held pretty close to the chest. It goes into grappling, and the grappling was great.
What the fuck? These guys are...
And I really enjoyed it.
Bro, these guys are literally playing like Solid Snake style CQC over
7
here.
out of 10.
History Channel, by the way.
It was a very tense and quite realistic axe fight. You want to control your opponent's weapon if possible, and by grabbing your opponent's weapon, especially near the axe head, you can use it against the opponent. This is my favorite Viking axe. The toe edge would have been a couple of centimeters higher and come to a lethal point, and the heel would have also come down to a point which would have been also lethal, and it would have been very, very sharp. This is
Oh crap, I forgot. We're gonna be on the main page or something too, I think. I think that's what they were saying. You gotta ban Will from your chat. Hi Will, by the way. It doesn't matter, he's gonna watch anyway. What is this? Oh my god, he just got a fucking kill streak, dude. That was Tony.
axe. And this is what they call the bearded axe, because this part of the
Hooper's POV.
Ooh, I love this helicopter.
Yeah, me
so
too.
nice.
It is very cool looking.
Yes, I can't wait till we get with the flight too.
Remember the part where I said we shouldn't be on this? Oh.
Damn. Don't tell the Minecraft community, but I'm rooting for you secretly, says Manic Pixie Ghoul. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Manic Pixie Ghoul. Not a secret anymore. You probably can't do your strategy today because Ludwig has twice your viewers. Ludwig isn't competing in the fucking game. Okay? I know, but directional approach is still absolutely a relevant strategy unless Ludwig is literally going to be like, you should do this and this and this, in which case I have trusted members who will relay that information to me. I know they can still vote, everybody. I know. Thank you, Pleb Sibo, for the 22 gift subs. I know his viewers are going to answer, but his viewers are going to answer in very different ways, right? Like, they're not going to, unless he directs them to do a specific answer, they're going to answer in, like, many different ways. Okay? Exactly. Ludwig will give the same benefit to all contestants, which means ultimately it will even out. We have a minute remaining. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a minute remaining. We have 1 minute remaining. Ludwig doesn't have to say anything, but Ludwig's chat has a singular mind of its own and will back Will, Connor, or Data Dave to win. Yes. I know that. I'm still going to play. I'm going to still play a decent game. Okay? Also, what you must remember, 1 minute remaining. I'm going to run an ad right now. Top of the hour, every hour, 6-second ad break. What I'm going to do is still give a fucking, honest shot at this. Still going to try to win. Still going to play hard. Still going to try to win. Still going to play hard. And that's it. And, why can't I hear anything? Why can't I hear anything?
Welcome back to Hivemind. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the season finale, the biggest show on the internet. How you feeling, Charlie?
I'm feeling great. It's so wonderful to see you again. Post-surgery, you probably already made 10 grand in the 10 minutes that it took to even get the show going here. Big stream from Ludwig, big mogul moves. I'm glad that you peeled yourself away for today's episode.
I found the time because I had to. Look, I've been streaming like, a couple thousand, but this Right now, I think we're working with what, 4 million, 5 million?
Yeah, and we just started too, so that'll probably get up to 10, 15 million because it's the finale.
Exactly. And I gotta let you know, tonight, the winners of the last 4 episodes are gonna battle it out in the final showdown.